everyone, this is Marc again for you now here from Firenze. Today we are going to visit one of the most influential people in the niche fragrance world, Lorenzo Villoresi. We are going to have a talk with him here from his headquarters. It's a beautiful place, so let's go inside. And here in this historical building, you will find the shop. So in case you're coming here to the city, you can try all the different scents at this place. We will give you a guidance through the whole collection a little bit later, but now let's have a talk with his wife. So thank you very much for having us here in this beautiful, palace almost. Just for an idea, at what time was it built?
We rediscovered a Roman wall underneath.
Okay.
So it's a palace actually built on layers, as many things are in Florence. Mm-hmm. You have a Roman base, you have a medieval building, and on that a Renaissance palace was built. Mm-hmm. And now the recent part for us is a 17th century addition on top. So it's very interesting. It's really history through the centuries.
Wow.
And we had the chance to renovate it, and it's finally at disposal for this perfume project.
Super. Yeah, before we start shooting, we were walking around here and you were showing me some of the plants you were gathering here. And for me, it was the first time to see ylang ylang, for example. Or what do we have here?
Well, we have fascinating plants. The purpose was really to show plants that for us are magical.
Yeah.
And it's a collection of something more than 80 plants by now. But we have the chance of having, for example, frangipane flowering now. Mm-hmm. Smell it. You see? It's fascinating.
Wow.
And some of these plants, for example, this is a tree from which red pepper comes, Schinus molle. And even this tree, unfortunately, you cannot judge it through the camera, but if you smell it, you really...
Wow. Really intense.
It's an incredible fragrance.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's interesting because, you know, many of these plants are tropical, so they're not easy to grow here, but many are in people's mind as names. We would like to have people knowing the plant, understanding what it is. For example, we have here a famous plant for perfumery, which is patchouli.
Ah, you know, I never had real patchouli in my hand.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
This is a leaf of patchouli.
This is how it looks like.
And I need to scratch the leaf because otherwise you wouldn't smell it.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So some plants are common. We know them: rosemary, sage, gardenia.
Yeah.
Some are really unusual. Like, for example, here we have a coffee plant, Arabica.
Okay. Yeah.
And look,
but normally it doesn't grow in this climate.
Normally it doesn't grow, so we have to protect all these plants in winter. But look, we have the first grains, coffee grains, growing in Florence.
Okay. Very interesting. So how long does it take to gather all these different plants in one place?
Well, we've been working at the collection since a few years, 5 or 6 years, and it needs constant care. But then it's very interesting. You can go through the museum, see the spices, and then come to encounter really the plants they come from. The interesting part, we can also go above, is a small collection of citrus plants, because this is also very interesting.
Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Okay.
Wow, this is a beautiful place.
Yes, I can bring you through some of the plants because some are very special. Of course, we don't have the space to make a plantation here, but to at least show the great variety of plants. For example, when you talk about citrus, everybody knows lemon and orange, but not everybody knows, for example, the Citrus hystrix, the combava. Look, and here again, come near and smell it.
Oh, okay, totally different. Huh?
Totally different. In Madagascar, they use the leaves to cook. Mm-hmm. And but this is just an example. This is, for example, calamondino. It's one of the ancestors, let's say, of mandarin.
Okay.
So it's really a richness. As we will see in the museum, what is the purpose? The thing for us in perfumery is that each time you have a slightly different smell, that's like a color palette for a perfumer. So for a perfumer, the interesting fact is discovering more and more smells raw materials, extracting smells that then can come to new ideas and new elements for a compound.
Okay. Later on, we will have an interview with your husband. So what can we expect from him then? As a, you know, what is his message in the perfume?
Well, you can ask him to unveil a few secrets.
Ah, really? Yeah. There are some things coming in the future.
Well,
or?
you know, there are things coming in the future, but there is a constant research. Probably what is interesting in his approach is that he comes from humanistic studies.
Yeah.
So he likes the myth of aromatic materials.
Okay.
You know, he feels there is like a line relating ancient history to the future.
Okay.
And we are somewhere in between.
Okay. Interesting.
And I think that's the sort of interesting part. You know, whenever you touch something right in a perfume, it's at the same time ancient and future.
So, my last question for you would be, you know, at the moment a lot of different fragrances are available, and if you need to choose for, let's say, someone who's in his 20s, which one is your favorite fragrance of all the ones you have? For example, me, I'm
Yes.
currently stuck with Yerbamate and Atman Xaman. These are my
Yes.
two most favorite ones. So what would you say is...
Well, for example, I also like Hyperborea.
Hyperborea
in the-
is
because
super clean.
It's a super clean but fresh and lively
Yeah.
floral. Never too heavy, never, and I think it's really appropriate. On the fresh side, I would also like Aromas very much.
Aromas is...
Because it seems to have a classical approach,
Yeah.
because you recognize some citrus hint, but in fact it has all the evocative part of the Mediterranean area. So, and in fact it's aura, that's the idea.
Yeah. Aromas is beautiful fragrance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you touch at Xaman, which is, I think, very interesting.
Yeah.
On the most feminine side, if you are ready to go into something deeper than Hyperborea,
Yeah.
I think Kamasurabi is also to be taken into consideration.
Very good.
You know, the beauty of the variety is that it's nice to be free to choose.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have people coming, oh, what is the right thing? Try and understand what you like.
Yeah.
It seems banal.
But you know, in
but it's
Germany,
not.
in Germany, it's more like this. In Germany, we are very straight. So you say this fragrance is just for going out. This fragrance is just for office.
Well, then I would do Kamasurabi. It's more of a going out fragrance,
Okay.
because it's more central.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
So in this first room, we start with the aromas of the antiquity. So ingredients that have been used in the history of perfumery since many millenniums. We are talking about things that the Egyptians would use to do the embalsamation of their kings, and incenses and roots, scented roots like the spikenard that are mentioned in the Bible and even in more ancient things, books. And for each one of these raw materials that you see, the raw materials in the jars downstairs, you have a little olfactory jar where you can smell that these have been sanitized and disinfected.
Ah, okay.
So you can smell for each thing, you see what it looks like, you have something that explains you what it is, where it comes from, and so on, and what it smells of.
Wow.
You know, and this happens for 118 different fragrances, ingredients in this museum. So there's 118 jars like this and things in display. And of course, on the panels we explain the trade routes and how important this merchandise was for the international commerce back in the 5th century before Christ, so 2,500 years ago. They already had these huge trade routes that went from India to the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, just to bring these very precious products to the rich markets of Athens and Rome, and of Egypt, of course, where the rich customers were. Core of the museum is actually this room. It's called Osmorama.
Wow, okay.
And Osmorama, of course, means all the ingredients you may want to smell, all the scents you may want to smell. So
the pure direction of.
It's the pure direction. These are single ingredients, the ones that the perfumer uses. Mm-hmm. They are divided into natural ingredients, non-natural ingredients, and these are the new ingredients. That is, new experimental things that are not yet on the market.
Okay.
So here we organize little sniffings and tastings.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We have almost 1,000 different bottles. Each bottle contains a different ingredient, and of course they're organized in alphabetical order. Otherwise, it would be impossible to find them, to retrieve them.
Here we have the Roman wall. Yeah.
The Roman wall that we restored, and here you have this interactive map where you can choose a country, Germany, for instance, and spot a country. And you see the list of the main raw materials that are
From
produced
Germany?
in that country. Yes.
What is the most famous one we have in Germany?
It's probably, well, I would say tree moss,
yeah, okay.
oak moss and tree moss, because you have a lot of woods there. Elderflower, probably.
Elderflower, okay.
Yeah. Well, of course, sage, savory, these are things that we all over Europe. Angelica roots, blackcurrant, you know, they all sound like, especially things that grow in the woods, because you have a lot of woods in Germany, especially in the southern part. And since Germany is a long country, you have many different things, because of course in the south of Germany and in the north you have different climate. Different. For instance, you see fir. This is probably a northern type of plant. If you click on that, you see more information. Galbanum, yes. So you see what it is, where it comes from, what part you use, what's the smell, and so on. And a little photo.
Picture,
you see here. And
this one is familiar. You can also see it over
there.
there.
Exactly,
yes, okay.
Exactly. So this is just the console. So this is just to explain how it works. And here, of course, we have a display of some important ingredients, but we choose these ones because they're beautiful. So we just wanted to make it an aesthetic thing. So it's tree moss and oak moss, vanilla pods, nutmegs and matches, clove buds, cinnamon, iris root, orris, tonka beans, and vetiver. So these are some of very important tonka beans, vetiver, iris. These are very important ingredients. Vanilla for perfumery, but above all, they look nice. They have a nice appearance.
No, for me, this is the first time I see this vetiver. I always ask myself, how does it look like?
Yeah, it looks like this. Vetiver is actually the roots of this grass. It's a sort of ugly-looking grass. Yeah, it's like a weed. Okay. But it makes these very, very long roots, thin roots, and up to 5 meters long. Yeah. And they have this incredible woody scent. You're familiar with the scent of vetiver, don't you?
Yes, 100%, yes.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like this. Odors, to smell, of course, as I said, it's mainly focused on the scents. So we have all these little jars where you can smell almost anything, and some information about legends and myths linked to the fragrances.
How long does it took to create this place?
A lot of time. For the building, it took 8 years to do the renovation. Actually, 10 years to do the total renovation of the building. And to actually set up the museum, it took like 3-4 years. In total. Also because all the contents are original. We wrote all the text, we found all the pictures, all the furniture was made to, based on our designs by artisans and so on. So it really took a long time.
There's really some knowledge you gathered here.
Yeah, we wanted to share this knowledge. We are very proud of what we know about fragrances. We love what we do.
Can everyone come here to this museum?
Yes.
Or you need to make an appointment online?
You need to make, especially now because of the COVID, the limitations, you need to make an appointment. You need to pay a little ticket, of course. Yeah. And you get a guided visit that lasts 1 hour and a half, approximately.
If someone's interested, this is the place to come.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Beautiful.
We have a lot of people actually coming, and especially in this period because there's the Fragranze fair.
Yeah.
So,
and then we have here musk.
Musk, of course.
And you don't use it anymore, yeah?
No, musk is really prohibited because, to obtain the musk from the animal, you need to kill the animal. And now the animal is an endangered species, of course. Yeah. But I would not beautiful animals.
Yeah, but I would not expect the scent to smell like this. Normally, if you see musk fragrance or the ingredients, it smells different.
What happened? Natural musk is a very complex scent. It does contain a lot of different molecules. The main molecules are muscatone and muscone levo, but these are just the two main notes. And then you may work around the musk theme in many different ways. You can use different types of musk, and you can blend the musk with flowers, with woods, with citrus, with almost anything, because it's a sort of adaptable scent. So you may find musk-based fragrances that are totally different one from the other, because of the other ingredients that they put around the central. The central musk itself is almost neutral. It does have a scent, of course, but it's not that strong.
Yeah, correct. It's not that strong.
It's actually quite neutral, and it blends well with a huge range of different scents. Here, of course, these are all the woody notes. So patchouli, labdanum, sandalwood, birch, cistus, cedarwood, and the famous agarwood, the
Agarwood,
oud that now it's so
popular.
fashionable. It's so popular. Probably even too much.
It's like a trend. It goes up and down.
You know, we had the marine notes a few years ago, and all the fragrances were somewhat marine. Now the oud is very popular. The main display is devoted to the fragrance families.
Ah, this one. Okay, what?
Yeah, we use the famous Michael Edwards fragrance wheel.
Purple in the middle. My favorite color.
Okay.
What is your favorite fragrance from all of this?
Favorite fragrance, my personal favorite fragrance is the musk.
Musk is your favorite
Our musk.
Yeah.
That's a very soft, sort of a velvety musk. Want to try it?
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, our most famous fragrance, the most successful one is Teint de Neige.
Teint de Neige, yes. This
It's
one is the most popular.
Very famous.
Yeah.
In my opinion, even if it is not my personal fragrance, I think that Lorenzo's masterpiece, though it's not Teint de Neige, it's a great fragrance, but his masterpiece is Alamut.
Alamut is also beautiful.
I think from a technical and an artistic point of view, Alamut is probably the masterpiece.
Musk is also, it's very comfortable to wear it.
Exactly.
You have this round.
It's really round. This is a soft musk, you know.
Yeah.
And it's blended with rose, sandalwood, and vanilla to make it even softer and you know, warm. And
I'm currently stuck with the Yerbamate.
Okay, that's a fantastic fragrance. That's so original.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's quite unique. And the inspiration, you know, is so beautiful. Imagine these huge meadows down in South America, green everywhere, and grass and wildflowers. Okay.
Thank you very much for the tour.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Very eye-opening. You have gathered so much information. You could spend days here.
Yeah, actually, it is true that the guided tours normally last 1 hour and a half. But if you have people that are really fond about this, they could stay here for all day.
How long is the process from starting point until the finished product? Because nowadays it works like this. You have an idea, you go to someone, you said, okay, I will do something similar to Baccarat Rouge. Okay, we do different, and this is it. With you, it's different.
Boring. Yes, it's boring, and I think it is sad.